Originally from India, Raja holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and an MBA from the Indian Institute of Management in Bangalore. He now resides in the U.S. with his family. Raja, with such a storied career and a deep understanding of marketing, how did you even know you had a call for marketing to begin with?
See, I think I'm an accidental marketer. I did biochemical engineering, during which I specialized in environmental engineering. And in my MBA, I was specializing in environmental management.
So not the traditional path.
Not the traditional path. So when I went into MBA, between the first and the second years of MBA, I had done a summer internship. And that summer internship was with a cosmetics company to figure out their logistics. And I started on the logistics project. And it so happened that one day I was sitting outside a cubicle in which my boss was. And he was having a conversation with the agency people. They were trying to figure out how cosmetics can be accepted socially in the second and third tier cities in India. They were tying themselves up in knots. So I said, why are these guys going through such complex thing? And I just took a piece of paper and I wrote it. Simple one line, is it bad to look good? And I put a picture there. I wrote a couple of slides and I said, what do you think about this? It so happened that the chairperson of that company was in that office and she saw the work too. She said, this looks like a great campaign. Let's go ahead and launch it. Wow. So we went and launched it, or they went and launched it, and it had won a number of national awards. And then I realized, I said, okay, maybe I'm good at marketing. So let me start getting into marketing, and then the rest of it is history.
The rest is history. And you know, it's funny how those stories play out, but I appreciate you sharing that with us. You know, you spoke on stage at Brand Week about capturing the attention of your consumer. Right now, you know, it's hard to ask people to get through a book, right? It's hard to ask people to get through one 60-second video, right? There's 4,000, 5,000 ads a day. How do you capture the attention of a consumer today with so many, you know, distractions out?
So it's true that there are about 5,000 messages that an average consumer gets exposed to on a daily basis. And their span of attention is going down to below 8 seconds, which is less than that of a goldfish. So advertising is getting to be more and more difficult and challenging to get the right cut through, stand out, and impact. So what we have done at MasterCard, and this is what I have led over the last few years, is to pivot our strategy away from being an advertising-led marketing strategy to an experiences-led marketing strategy. So we have a whole bunch of experiential marketing where you immerse consumers in an environment where they get to closest to their passion in ways that were not possible before, on the one hand. On the other hand, we also have started with this whole approach called multi-sensory marketing. We just don't rely on just the sight and sound of consumers to get into their hearts and minds, but try to get through all their 5 senses and more number of senses, which is the sense of taste, sense of smell, sense of touch, added to the senses of vision or sight and sound, it can make a huge difference. So between experience-led marketing strategy and multi-sensory marketing, we have been able to really gain a tremendous amount of ground, so much so that now we are the 11th most valuable brand in the world compared to what it was a few years back at number 87. And that was a huge march forward. And we have been rated for the last 4 years as one of the fast rising brands in the world by Interbrand and a whole bunch of third-party companies.
That's awesome, just because it's such an enterprise brand. It's been around forever, right? So to be just emerging and innovative, right? I got to give you and your team a lot of kudos with that. I have to ask too, right? A lot of our audience is also under the age of 26, 25. They're emerging marketers. What is some advice that you would give them in their career and also personally?
So one of the first things I would say is, unlike the times when I was a student or I was a young marketer, today you have tons of resources available at your fingertips and mostly free of cost. Whether they are the Coursera courses or the TED Talks, or you have got beautiful content that is there on internet that you can actually access. It's a privilege to be having that level of access to knowledge. So my first advice to younger marketers is to say that spend time, at least 4 or 5 hours every week, trying to learn something. It could be AI or different forms of AI, or it could be augmented reality or blockchains or cryptocurrencies or new methods of marketing, multi-sensory marketing, and so on. if you do that and if you enrich yourself, you'll be such a better marketer than you are today.
I'm curious too, what's something that you've learned or educated yourself outside of the business sector that has impacted your career?
Actually, I dealt a lot, or dived in a lot into the world of music. And the more I got into it, and my curiosity brought me to a situation where I said, what exactly have different types of sound impact on the brain, impact on the feelings, impact on emotions? And that is actually what has led to the entire sonic strategy of MasterCard.
Yeah, I see where that's going. What were you studying within music?
So let's look at it this way. When you look at sound, not even music, but even just sound, try to watch a horror movie with the volume at 0. The fear factor is very low, if at all.
Before they had the silent movies.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, when you start increasing the volume of the music, of the sound,
Sure.
the fear factor goes up. You become more anxious, more, the suspense is a lot more. Now, if you look at our advertisements today, when there is a video playing, the video is interrupted and the advertisement plays. I don't know how many have realized that the volume at which advertising plays is higher than the volume of the programming. Many times it is very annoying because there are good things you want to hear louder, the annoying things you want to listen to softer, if at all. I think marketers are not appreciating it. They are just putting one single template across everything and then doing it. Likewise, how many companies have sonic brands? Very, very, very few, just a handful. That's a huge opportunity because you're missing out on one full sense. People, when they see something, they remember hardly 5%. When they smell something, they have a retention rate of 20%. And sound is somewhere in between those two. So you need to think about each one of these elements and figure out, does it have any impact on my own business? Can I do something about it? And I have found time and again incredible lessons that have been helping me advance the marketing strategy for MasterCard, even as I'm diving into things which have nothing to do with MasterCard or nothing to do prima facie with marketing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I used to run a production company myself, and sound is really the unsung hero of all production, right? If you do it right, it can make all the difference, right? Doing it okay, it's just like, it doesn't do anything, but really such an unsung hero. So it's amazing that you've educated yourself on music, and it just shows. Last question I have for you here is, a lot of these podcasts, a lot of them on stage, they're going to ask you about Q3, Q4 earnings, right? I want to throw that out the window for now, and I want to get to know Raja, the person, a little bit more. We've already talked about your love of music, but I want to hear about two things. One is what you're most proud of in your professional life, and one is what is you're most proud of in your personal life.
So in my professional life, I think the kind of marketing transformation that we have done at MasterCard over the last few years in total, with various components, each one has been a big deal. And the combination of all this has been a tremendous transformation for MasterCard's marketing. And that's something which I feel very proud of in my professional career. At a personal level, I would say the most significant thing for me was diving into the aspects of meditation and trying to figure out how meditation can improve productivity for people, how it can improve creativity for people. And that's something which I feel really, really good about. And I've been contributing in my own small way to get people more sensitive to leverage meditation and how it can help them quite a lot. And that's something which I feel very particularly good about.
If somebody's listening right now and they want to take that first step into marketing or meditation, right, what would you say a good gateway is, right? Because also meditation can be a scary thing to dip your toe into, right? So what would you recommend?
So firstly, on the meditation side, there are a number of podcasts available on meditation. There are a number of YouTube videos available on meditation. Or you can also try apps like Calm on a free trial basis for 7 days or whatever, and you will already start seeing difference in that small amount of time. I would say take any one of those. Start somewhere. The idea is get started and then let your momentum take you where you want to go to or where you need to go to. On the marketing side, I would say, and I'm saying half seriously, they should go and read my book, Quantum Marketing.
There you go.
Which is written in very simple, easy to understand language. without too much of techno jargon
Buzzwords
and all
and
that.
yeah.
Yeah, and it has been published in 11 languages, being taught in 300 schools, and it has won many international book awards. So I would say read Quantum Marketing.
Amazing. Well, Raja, I think those are great words. Get started meditating, get started reading his book, and just thank you so much for coming on CMO Weekly. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me here, and good luck.
Thank you. And shout out to Open Fortune for making this possible. Thanks.